Good morning. I'm going to talk about the BDS campaign, boycott, divestment, and sanctions. So very quickly for the history, the Arab boycott of Israel started in the 1920s by targeting Zionist institutions and Jewish businesses in the British Mandate of Palestine. Almost immediately after the foundation of Israel, the Arab League adopted an official boycott and established in 1951 a central boycott office in Damascus, Syria, to coordinate Arab boycott activities. So what started as an Arab boycott developed through the years until the general call to boycott Israel, launched in 2005 by the BDS movement. And since then, as you all know, this movement has promoted and organized boycott and divestment measures in the areas of culture, trade, and academia. Unfortunately, we observe every day the achievements of this campaign around the world. Trade unions have adopted resolutions to divest from Israeli companies. International performers have canceled their performances in Israel, and so on. So while the boycott of Israel used to be mainly economic and directed by states, it became global and is today primarily initiated by individuals and NGOs. Even though the effect of the boycott on the Israeli economy seems to be marginal for now, it has been far more damaging when it comes to the negative image that it spreads. Besides, the BDS movement has today a central role in the delegitimization of Israel by undermining its right to exist as a Jewish state and by branding Israel as an apartheid state. But despite this very worrying development, I also have positive and optimistic news for you. When we decided to do research on it in the World Jewish Diplomatic Corps, we discovered that in the 70s, anti-boycott laws were passed in the United States, in France, and later in Germany, specifically to counteract the Arab boycott of Israel. I'm not going to present here this regulation since we don't have so much time, and I also really don't want to bore you with that. But basically, these laws tend to prevent the citizens from participating, supporting, complying with the economic boycott of Israel. We also found cases in these countries and at the European level in the European Court of Human Rights condemning very clearly the boycott of Israel in various situations. My point is that important and efficient legal tools exist to fight against the boycott of Israel. The law is clearly on our side. So I believe that today it is our duty as Jews to use these tools efficiently and quickly before it is too late, before the idea to boycott Israel becomes obvious and legitimate for the public opinion. The question is, how can we do that? How can we fight? And before answering this question, I would like to tell you a very interesting story that Amichai shared with me a few days ago. You probably all heard about the new flotilla which was supposed to arrive in Israel. This flotilla is, for now, cancelled. Jewish organization, in trying to prevent it from breaking the blockade on Gaza, decided to attack them on very essential needs: the insurance and the navigation system. Because without these two things, a ship is not able to set sail. The Jewish organizations threatened the maritime insurance firms and the satellite communications companies to sue them in the United States for aiding a terrorist organization if they provide any services that assist in the breach of the Israeli blockade on Gaza. As a result, they received assurances from the world's largest maritime insurance company, Lloyd's, that they would not insure ships participating in this flotilla. What did this Jewish organization, from my point of view, is absolutely brilliant and is definitely an example to follow. In the same way, to fight efficiently against the BDS, we need to create a clear legal threat for any actions related to the boycott of Israel. If individuals realize that for any video posted online, any participation to a demonstration or statement made calling to boycott Israel, they will be sued, they will become reluctant to participate to these actions. And it seems very probable that these individuals will not be ready to face the cost of a trial and will want to avoid a condemnation from a criminal court. And the same idea should apply to companies within which this call to boycott Israel takes place and to companies which apply this boycott. The increase of lawsuits will act, hopefully, as a deterrent to the boycotters. And besides, on the long term, the increase of the decisions condemning the boycott will strengthen the case law and will give us more power in the future. In conclusion, I would just say that I do believe that the Jewish people are outstanding lawyers, probably thanks to our amazing history of arguing and discussing Jewish law over and over. We have great minds and great people to fight legally against this phenomenon. So I can tell you that if we engage in this fight, it is a fight that we're going to win. Thank you.